What's up, everybody, and welcome to the Kamen Riders. We are a Kamen Rider review podcast, and today on the show, we're going to talk about Kamen Rider Zeztz episode 34. I'm your host, Josh Meek, the Uber Geek, and I'm joined, as always, by my good friend, Toby Tobes. How's it going, Toby?
Josh, I'm going to watch America's Pastime this week, live.
Gonna go see some ping pong, live and in person.
That's right. What sport do you think I'm actually talking about, Josh?
Baseball. America's Pastime is baseball.
That's right. I'm going to watch Cosmic Block Party Baseball, which is intriguing to me and also absurd. So, Cosmic Block Party Baseball, or Cosmic Baseball, or how it is much like Banana Ball.
I was gonna ask if it was Banana Ball adjacent. Yeah.
Yeah. So, Banana Ball is basically people that are athletic but do like obnoxious, crazy Instagram highlight reel baseball playing instead of like baseball. Like they dance their way to the bases, everything else.
They are, if you don't know, they're the Harlem Globetrotters, but for baseball, essentially.
Yeah,
and if you don't know anything about the Savannah Bananas and Banana Ball, do yourself a favor, go look up some YouTube videos about their history and stuff, because it is insane. They started as like a legitimate like minor league baseball team, and then realized that they were getting more ticket sales and more fans and stuff from just like acting crazy during like, you know, the inning breaks and stuff, and decided to do that for a whole league. And they've expanded out and added more teams and stuff now. Like it's crazy. Banana Ball is nuts. But anyway, go on. Cosmic Ball.
So Cosmic Ball, baseball starts at 7:30 at night, and everything is like blacklight responsive.
Okay.
So instead of playing under like stadium lights, they play in the pitch black, but the baseball is neon yellow and glows, and all of their uniforms are assorted neon colors and glows, and the crowd wears neon responsive clothes, and you all glow. And the teams are the Cosmic Chili Peppers against the Cosmic Glow Emojis.
Nice.
So yeah, I'm going to some sort of crazy neon blackout baseball this week. And it made me think about how like we can't just have like normal things anymore. We have tweaks and quirks where people don't want to go watch baseball, but to go watch people in baseball outfits dance and party, or they go sit in like the black lights like it's 1960 again, smoking pot and watch baseball that way.
I mean, do you think there's gonna be people smoking pot and watching the baseball? Because now we're talking. That's a
maybe during the pregame in the parking lot.
that feels like an experience. Meaning like these baseball players are aliens. Well, I don't know what I'm seeing here.
And the crazy shit is like it's so big, like the banana ball, party ball thing, whatever. You have to win like 2 layers of raffles to even get tickets when they come in your area because it's so big.
Yeah, it sells. So we have a pretty decently sized minor league stadium here in the city, and it sells that out instantly for sure. Like it is exactly what you're talking about. Like and in comparison, the actual minor league team that plays there does like, I don't know, 20% fill on any given game day.
Yeah, so I had to enter a raffle last summer to be told in December, hey, you won the chance to buy tickets this one night only.
Okay.
And then it was, if you don't buy the tickets as soon as you win, you're not going to get your tickets still.
Wow.
So I've been basically sitting and waiting on these tickets for almost a year at this point.
Man, that's wild.
Yeah.
Yeah. It'd be fun. Yeah. I love the rise of this, Harlem Globetrotters-esque sports thing.
Events.
It's fun, They're like it feels like the professional wrestling version of real sport. You know what I mean? Like it's like, let's add some pomp and circumstance to this sport. Let's make it weird and goofy. Like let's add some flamboyance. I'm very down.
And to that point, I am making a scene about this, but I am kind of stoked to go to see what it is.
Yeah, I think it'll be cool. It sounds cool.
And apparently I found out from, like, they didn't tell you, like, your QR ticket seating arrangement code things until, like, a couple days ago. Apparently I'm in row A of whatever section I'm in. So I'm going to be, like, front and center to get hit in the face with a glowing baseball.
Hell yeah. You better bring your glowing glove to catch it.
No, I'm gonna do it with my eyes closed. I'm just going to sense the moon flying at me.
Close your eyes and just swat your hands in front of your face.
Yeah, exactly.
I would do. Toby, I had a bit of a medical emergency this week I wanted to share with you and everyone out there in listener world.
You pooped your pants?
Didn't poop my pants, but you're on the right track. So we went out to eat. This was, I guess this was actual. No, this past Saturday. So yeah, we went out to eat. We got home, and I'm at home, and I'm like, all of a sudden, like my body starts feeling sore all over. Is how I described it at the time. Like it felt like suddenly all of my muscles in like my chest and my abdomen were like instantly sore. And I'm like, what's going on with my body? Like I don't know what's going on. I sat down, and it kind of was getting worse. And then all of a sudden it became what felt like chest pains. And I was like, hold up, am I dying? am I having a heart attack right now? Is this it? Is this the end? I panicked for like a minute or two. And then the pains moved down a little bit again into my abdomen. So I figured if the pains are moving around, it's probably not my heart, but maybe it's still concerning. So I'm in increasingly pain, increasingly in really debilitating pain at this point that's been going on now for a few minutes. And then we start talking about what it could be, and we settle on like maybe it's gas, which I was like, this can't be gas. I've had gas before. It doesn't feel like this. I feel like I'm dying. This can't be gas. But I took a Gas X just in case, Toby, and it was gas. I'm happy to report that it was just gas. It went away like basically instantly after the Gas X. Like 20 minutes later, it's gone. I'm perfectly fine. So I had to fart so bad it nearly killed me this week. Is what I'm telling everyone out there.
Excellent.
It was insane. I've never experienced anything like that before. It didn't feel like gas pains. It felt like I was ripping apart from the inside. It was crazy. But that was just too embarrassing not to tell the world about. So I had to share with you.
Perfect. Thank you.
And speaking of sharing, let's share our thoughts on this newest episode of Kamen Rider.
Speaking of ripping yourself from the inside from farts, let's talk about Zeztz.
Oh my god, that fits so well with this episode specifically in a couple ways. Yeah. So Zeztz episode 34, of course, last time around we had the really wild out there episode where we get to see Baku spend 20 years in Dreamland developing his new X-Dream driver and capsum so that he can become his final form of X-Dream. And this episode picks up exactly from the end of that. So he comes back in the real world and henshins into X-Dream. And we'll talk about, of course, all the crazy stuff that he gets up to. But first I want to touch on real quick, we get to see Minami, his sister, discover the Zeztz command closet once again, because it went away for a little while and then it's back now. And she walks in and we get to find out, which I found hilarious, that all of the food junk and all the trash that was laid around and all the capsule stuffs that are in this room is just there in real life. Like it didn't just happen in the dream world, it's actually there in person, and that cracked me up.
That part was, I guess, weird is the word. I don't know if it's weird or not.
Yeah.
But like with the way it was presented and it's supposed to be like his special dream closet, I felt like the 20 years never happened.
Yeah.
And I like it just all like rolled back after he did his magical things. I wouldn't have expected like the actual closet to be as like 20 years trashed. So that actually kind of threw me off.
Me too. I think the insinuation here is like when you go into that command closet, you're in this weird like in between space where you're
like a pocket dimension.
Yeah, that's what I took it as. I'm just like, yeah, you're actually kind of still in the dream world here. Like it's the same location.
If being in his real life closet is even weirder. Then that's just like a small Liverpool away from whatever time has actually passed in that room.
Yeah, it's so strange. Yeah, I couldn't really figure out the logistics of that, but the idea that it's trashed and she has to clean it up is kind of funny though.
That was funny, and then I feel like, unless I didn't notice it last time, I noticed more so this time that all the capsules were like blacked out and burnt. Because I feel I remembered, I know I specifically remember all the colorful capsules being all across the floor from this testing.
Yep.
So like showing they aged or showing like the outcome of what they were doing or what he did in there, I thought was actually like a cool little touch of like, yeah, he like burnt all these trying to fix his actual thing kind of deal.
Yeah, look at all these failed attempts scattered around. Well, it worked out well for him because he is essentially a god. We find out in this episode. This might be yours and my's most powerful Kamen Rider we've seen so far, and we lived through the end of Geats, where again he quite literally becomes a god in that show. But this guy Extreme seems crazy powerful.
See, I
Um,
to that point, and I can we can I'll cut that little note out then. Front thing. I feel like it's kind of getting. I feel we've had too many seasons now where one of the final things, or like the power, is just like the power of restoring whatever's going on.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Because in the grand fight that we can talk about later, there's a lot of destruction and him just making things come back because he's godlike and it's dreams but not dreams and he can do whatever he wants to, blah blah. But I feel like we've had a large swath of heroes whose power is just like it doesn't matter what you break because I can just magically fix it instantly.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, that's where Geats went for sure. Like, that's a very like tropey thing that happens. I think at the end of Kamen Rider series, because yeah, like they have to like ramp up to like essentially what is ultimate power, and like I guess the easiest way to do that often is to be like, and then you just undo the bad stuff. That's your power. Your anti bad stuff power. Isn't that great? um, but he instantly when he comes back is cool dude, right? Like his sister runs up and hugs him and he like kind of half hugs her, but then sort of like pushes her back and is like, yeah, I'm gonna keep on my mission. Sorry. And then we find out that he can sort of instantly teleport into the dream world. He doesn't have to go to sleep anymore. He falls backwards. He like tips his toe backwards and makes this like pond,
It's like a dream puddle.
a dream puddle, exactly. And he falls through it into the dream world, which is so cool. Like visually, that was awesome.
So
Um,
am I skipped, even though I'm about to ask you a question that I probably could have answered myself if I had paid attention another minute, because I usually like skip through the intro still, as I usually get to the point in these shows. Wasn't that one of the intro things where maybe not necessarily him falling as Super Zets through the puddle into the dreams, but I could have swore there was a thing in one of the intros throughout the season where he kind of like fell through the world and was falling
yeah,
through dreams.
I think you're thinking of in the new intro, he falls through his bed at one point. Like he falls
Maybe, oh
onto
yeah,
the bed and then goes on through it as the agent. Yeah.
but yeah. So like, I mean, I could like I said, I started watching the intro and I was like, no, 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 I'm gonna find
I'm
out
not
the
doing
other
this.
way. Yeah,
That's fair. Yeah. So yeah, he goes in the dream world, and so this is the start. I think really. Um, I think this show is heading off in a very like avant-garde, anything goes crazy direction. Like because it is dream world fighting, they can really kind of do anything that they want, and like visually, this episode is insane. Like when we'll talk through more of it as the fight and stuff happens, but like so many things, and this is the perfect example, the first perfect example of just like crazy red purple world he falls into that they get to just create and show us because it's not the real world, it's a dream world. um I am it's going to be crazy to have the remainder of the show where like this is now the status quo essentially of what they can show us.
yeah. Like, like I think for me mainly, like the big fight at the end was like my coup de grace moment of like they went so hard on doing special effects and making
Yeah.
this fight like the coolest fucking thing we've ever seen. I was so impressed. Like the payoff for the fight and everything just looks so freaking good. Because especially in like the years of the good CG, bad CG, jokes, talks, whatever,
Yeah.
it was like movie cinema quality. I think it was like 6 minutes long where they just did the craziest shit and it all looked like prime, amazing visual deliciousness.
Yeah, it really did. Yeah. So that fight with Sieg where he's like kind of resetting the dream world over and over again. So like they're constantly with each punch almost like jumping back and forth between like a beautiful garden and then like destructive wasteland, like horrible brown everywhere, like horrible world seemingly in hell. Yeah, all of that bouncing back and forth and the resetting and all of the shots they did that were like kind of kaleidoscoped out, like very cool, kind of weird out there filming. Um, they did a lot of like very tight shots on Dawn as well during that fight that were really unique and we haven't seen kind of throughout the rest of the series. So yeah, they like it. You're totally right. It was like movie quality CG. I know. A lot of times we like talk about like, good enough, right? Like it was good enough for Kamen Rider. It's fine. But this one was like it wasn't good enough. It was just good. Like it looked
Yeah.
great. And so clearly, I think time is the most important element to doing a good job on CG for them is what it feels like because I didn't go independently confirm this date, but someone in the YouTube comments was saying that this episode finished filming way back in October of last year. So they've had since then to like perfect this CG and clearly spent a long time on it. So like the advanced filming schedule I think is like really paying off here at the back end of the season in these big set piece episodes like this.
Well, and I think it was the last season. It was the Boom Boomger season, or it was the last season of it was the Gav season where they said like we're not going to do the adjust as we go. We're just filming the show.
Yep.
So I think over the years that we've watched, I think them just locking it down to the show now and not doing like, oh, we're gonna film in real time and try to keep up and just do what visuals we can, and them actually filming it like a full blown production of we need time to get this to good. Definitely seems to be paying off tons for the way the shows look now.
Yeah, it seems like it is aggressively changed the show's perceived production, perceived budget. Like that of all the decisions that they've made, that one alone seems like it has been really beneficial to the overall quality of the show for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
Because he re-enters the dream world, we get to see in Nem's dream the letter that Baku had written that had faded away comes back into existence now. So then she realizes that he's back alive, but obviously Sieg still has her and is still kind of torturing her.
He's still being his weirdo self.
Yeah, he certainly is. We get to learn more about his weirdo self in this episode. He takes her back into his little weird nightmare sex dungeon and locks her in a cage. And then this is where finally Xaid, this is where Zeztz catches up to him. And again, speaking of things that are just like, boy, they had an idea that was crazy and they executed it and it's out there. The beginning of this fight is just them shooting guns at each other. Like,
Yeah.
it's an insane gunfight. And not only, I don't know if you realized, Toby, but not only are they shooting guns at each other, they are making point blank hits. But because they both have like dream powers, the bullets are just sort of like dematerializing and not doing any damage.
I just thought it was I somehow thought they just kept moving so fast or like they were doing whatever, they weren't actually shooting each other. But the one thing I did think was nuts that they were both just randomly shooting guns like crazy people with them
Yeah.
locked in a cage.
Yes.
Like she has no protection, just like firing bullets wildly in the room.
Yeah, absolutely. There's so much crazy gunplay in this episode, both here and then later when we go in Sieg's mind. It's jarring. Again, we've talked about that before, that like the way that Americans view guns, Japanese people view guns is very different, I think. But like it's crazy how much gun shooting and murdering with guns there is in this episode.
Well, that and like there's even like splashy, too bright digital fake blood.
Mm-hmm.
But like for all the seasons and shows that we watch, like the most blood you usually get is the fake, like I'll sprinkle jelly on your face after a big fight kind of deal. And the fact that like all this was just like, no, like we're shooting guns, there's bullets, there's blood, there's knives, there's blood. Just wild for what the show has been up until this season.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and just the like crazy, I'm holding a gun up to your shoulder and pulling the trigger point blank is so hard. It's just so hard. At this point, Sieg also, takes some time to monologue about Nem. He talks about her sin, as he calls it, which is the power to make nightmares evolve. Of course, Zeztz defends her and says that she, believes in other people's dreams, and he thinks that she should be able to protect her dream as well, and all the hero stuff. Um, and yeah, the fight continues then with Sieg and with Zeztz. I thought that their opening lines were pretty good, where he's like, Zeztz, or sorry, Sieg says that nightmares will overcome dreams, and then Zeztz throws it back. It's like, no, dreams will overcome nightmares. It's a little cheesy, but it was cute. I liked that back and forth.
It was definitely cheesy, and it's like it's the actual like thesis mission statement of what the show has been the whole time. Of like,
Yeah.
if you're gonna boil it down to what good versus evil synonymous statement you can make, like the show is just like dreams versus nightmares.
Yep. Yeah, they put it right on Front Street with that. And then, as we mentioned, the fight itself is crazy here. Every punch, they're in a different location, bouncing back and forth. Sieg is like manipulating the ground to pop up and defend himself, and changing things around to kind of at whim. And Zeztz is doing the same thing. And then, as I said, every time that it seems like Dawn gets the upper hand, things just sort of get reset back. And then eventually he realizes that Zetz's power is such that he can never actually touch him, because every time he does, Zetz is like, maybe you were just dreaming about me beating you, and it
Yeah,
didn't
like
actually happen.
like the crux and the way that they presented it when Zetz made his first statement of like, no, 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 this is why you didn't stab me. At that point, once they said it once and they kept doing crazy shit over and over and over, like it was basically like Zetz taunting him of like, no matter what you're about to do, like I'm actually just one dream depth farther than you are.
Yeah,
So you're just behind me. Like the entire fight was basically Sieg trying to play catch up with Zetz, who was effectively like one step ahead the entire time, and none of it
totally.
mattered.
Yeah, you mentioning one dream depth lower made me remember another thing I thought when I was watching this episode, that this felt like Inception, because the next
as,
thing that happens
as
is,
if the show's not in
yeah,
general,
exactly. Yeah, it
but
already was for sure. But this next part, so essentially Zetz has Sieg outclassed here, and Zetz takes this opportunity to go into Sieg's subconscious and learn about him. Basically, Sieg is like, "Oh, you're gonna interrogate me? You're gonna make me talk?" And Zetz is like, "No, I don't think you'd talk even if I tortured you. So I better just go in your mind and handle it that way."
and the as they tell like Sieg's dream story, he's never felt more like we've made the references or comparisons before of like him being like Joker. When eventually there's a part where Zetz is on the outside of jail, Sieg's on the inside, and he has what is effectively like thousands of years of treasures that he's stolen from killing people who seem to be bad when he was still like kind of hero modish.
Yeah,
We just
yeah,
had like he was sitting on like a throne of cash and statues and treasure, and like taunting Zetz. And I was like, this has never felt so Batman and Joker until now. Where like the
yeah.
Joker's jail cell would absolutely be like all of the money he stole and like a gargoyle that he got off of like Gotham Tower that he just sits on inside his jail and just acting as wacky as possible.
Totally. Yeah, I think I liked getting this backstory with Sieg, but it left me with some questions that I don't really have the answer to, and I'm interested to hear maybe your take on them. So, what we see and what we I guess know for sure is they tell us that um, Sieg is the son of like a mob boss. Like that's the first dream we see, and actually the mob boss played by Bad Luck Fale from New Japan. I don't know if you noticed that. That is actual Bad Luck Fale. I think he goes by Don Fale now. But yeah, the wrestler Bad Luck Fale is the mob boss dad here.
When he was a jack dude that didn't really like talk, but just looked like a jacked Yakuza man kind of guy,
Uh
I assumed it was like most of me thought it was a wrestler, but I was like, it's obviously someone famous that I probably should know, but just don't.
huh. Yeah, I knew that. I knew him instantly. That dude was in the Bullet Club. I'll never forget.
Okay.
Yeah, so
One
it
of
was
those
cool.
people.
Yeah, he's one of those for sure. He's one of the old school Bullet Club guys. That was neat seeing a wrestler in the scene. But so Sieg was his son, and it seems like his dad's like sold him out and Sieg, got put in prison. So then Sieg has these dream powers, infiltrates his father's dream, and ends up killing his whole gang, and then ends up killing his father as well. And then from there continues to do that, basically, like goes into dreams and wipes out like seemingly bad people still, like you said, and kills them, and I guess gets treasure or whatever from them, steals from them at the same time. And that's sort of the manifestation of Sieg's powers and what led to Code, training him and sort of doing their experiments on him.
Yeah, like Zets basically did the lifting of like the back narrative story, and was like, after the first kill they showed, he was like 1 year prison time, and then he showed like another, or they kept doing like news flashes more so of like
Yeah.
news announcements, or like Sieg jumping through, turning people into like dream dust, and then Zets would be like 5 years in prison, 10 years in prison, and eventually like he just lands on like 1,000 years in prison. But all of the crimes were basically like, they're like, the news said, oh, there's shadow assassinations. We don't know what's happening. No one's nearby each other. This doesn't seem possible. But they didn't say like he killed anybody good. They were all like thieves and con artists and murderers and everything
Like
else.
embezzlers, yeah, people,
Yeah.
yeah, exactly, yeah. So this was the thing that I was confused about, because he's doing these killings in the dream world, and how it's manifesting in the real world, we find out from those news reels that you're talking about, is everyone is just having basically an acute heart attack with no other symptoms. Like there's no other cause of death. It's just they suddenly keel over. It's essentially what happens. And like as the news reels go on, they start to piece it together, but they don't really have the answers. They don't know who's doing it. They think it might be some sort of like coordinated effort because it's so suspicious. But at the same time, he's getting like time added to his sentence. So like is he getting caught for these things, or is it Code who has him in now, and they know that he can go in the dream world, so they're increasing his sentence every time it happens, but they can't stop him? Like I was
Like
confused on how those two things work together.
the way that Zets and Sieg talked about what Sieg was doing, like Sieg called it like, I think Zets called it his dream learning or his dream training or something like that. But at that point, like it was hard to tell if like Sieg could just do dream things, or if he was already hired by Code
Yeah.
to do
Yeah.
the things. Because like
I
Sieg says the dream learning was a real blast. And that was before he had like, he eventually like gets nightmare powers, but this was pre-nightmare powers.
Yep.
So like he was able to do all this in his own subconscious with his lucid shit before everything's happened. So I guess I'm not really sure either if it was Code driven, but then Code, when they showed the lady and Sieg in the Code office episodes ago, the statement was like, we saved you from 1,000 years of jail time.
Okay.
Or it was something along those lines of like, you had 1,000 years of jail time or something as part of like why he was the best along with the lady.
Yeah, okay.
So
I forgot
I
about
guess,
that.
yeah. So I don't know if that really helps, but just
Yeah.
they got him at some point from somewhere, and he already
Yeah.
had his 1,000 years of nonsense locked up.
Yeah, that certainly is the crux of my question. Is like, at what point does Code get involved with him? And that wasn't clear to me. So yeah, the whole sequence here, like in his dream mind, I think was really well done. Like all of the different language news stories that they were playing to show that he was like taking down these criminals all over the world, I think was really cool. The way they shot it was really cool. Again, all the gunplay and stuff when he's murdering people was awesome. He even kills our friend bodyguard Tom that we like so much. I don't know if you noticed that in the very first dream. At one point, bodyguard Tom runs in and gets friggin' shot in the face.
None of the people, face blindness, I don't know.
Yeah, it was
They never really click of who they're supposed to be. I just
it
saw like
was
crazy bang bang shoot dream
yeah,
nonsense.
it was the bodyguard from Geets, the one that or I guess one of the ones that speaks English. So he's appearing in another Kamen Rider, which is fun. But yeah, my question, yeah, was basically like, at what point does Code get involved in this story? I just left me wanting to know more. So I don't think I'll get more because obviously the end of this episode is seemingly Sieg is destroyed. And
I feel like I don't know how much you pre-read the emails. I feel like this is going to be like Shade writes in and says, "Oh, so we saw this, and that's actually because he was in jail, and that's where Code got him." So I'm going to assume there will be a explanation coming that way more than anyway else.
Yeah, we will see. But yeah, very very cool. Kind of in the memory, in the psyche of Sieg, and then as you said, the last thing we get to see is we get to see the moment where Sieg fuses with the nightmare. Basically, the nightmare is like threatening him, and he basically says that like, yeah, like dreams and nightmares are really not any worse than real life, so whatever. And he pulls the nightmare into this like torture chamber with him, and they merge together. So he gives up the ability to live, so that he has like power over dreams, and he's like, yeah, cool, isn't it?
But he already had, and that's the other thing too, where like he already had power over dreams. He just didn't have like the nightmare stuff.
Yeah,
But I
yeah,
feel like no one else, unless I've missed things, don't remember things, whatever. Like Zeztz, Baku, whatever is lucid dreaming, and we've established that towards the beginning. It was a whole big fun thing, but like he wasn't actually doing things until he became Zeztz. So I don't know if like Sieg is just that dream coded that he could just do things by himself, like way past lucid dreaming, or if it was something else that I wasn't understanding, kind of thing too.
yeah. He must be like way more like baseline powerful than Baku, I guess. Because yeah, it seems like he can actually affect change in the dream world even prior to getting his nightmare powers. Of course, Zetz also had nightmare powers. He had that nightmare inside of him, right? That he ends up kind of defeating.
But
But
that
yeah,
but that wasn't until he became Zets. Like
right, yeah,
I feel like there's a weird I don't know, there's a weird gap somewhere in here that's not putting the pieces together properly in my brain.
yeah. I definitely want a timeline of like when Sieg got arrested, when his dream powers manifested, and when Code got involved, and all that stuff. Like I want to know sort of like how all that lines up, because I agree it is weird that he seemingly was able to do all this before, becoming a Kamen Rider, before fusing with a nightmare.
Yeah.
Moving on from there, we have, the final confrontation, I guess I'll say, between Baku and Sieg. They get to talk a little bit more. Baku basically is lamenting that Sieg has all this power and he never used it to protect people, which again is such a Baku question. Sieg says all humans are destined for punishment. Baku says, like, you don't really feel that way. That's the nightmare talking. And Sieg goes out of his way to be like, nah, son, we both think that. Which I thought was awesome. What a perfect way to go out. Being like, no. You don't get to humanize me at the end. I'm a bad guy. I guess you could still interpret that as like the nightmare is still talking. Like he maybe doesn't know if he's in control or not technically, but like from a surface level perspective, it's pretty great that he just is doubling down on just being a shithead.
Yep.
And then of course we get the big final kick. Baku gives him one last time to give up all of his evil ways. He refuses, and Baku's like, yeah, it's too bad. And then they do kind of conjoined rider kicks at each other. But Baku's is more powerful, a full rise, great banish kick, and Sieg is destroyed at the end.
I'm assuming he's destroyed. Like he did the fade away. He got to do like his last dying quote, and I'm assuming he's dead just because we cut to 3 doing scumbaggy code things. But
Yeah.
I guess we don't actually know until we know.
Yeah, I mean, I guess things could happen, but from a, like you said, from a plotting perspective, it feels like we are closing the book on the Sieg drama, and we are then easily transitioning into whatever Code Somnia is, like to finish out the series, right? Like we're heading into our final arc, and that's gonna be it. It's gonna be whatever 3 has planned, whatever 3 has cooked up with Code Somnia, which is kind of a nice little bow on this episode for sure.
Yeah, it's like, because thinking back now, I feel like Sieg's probably been around for like a month and a half. So I guess that feels like enough time for a not main arc, or even like a main one to start and finish. That's like a part of like the bigger piece of the picture kind of thing.
Yeah. And I mean, I think he was a good little addition to the show. Like he was a cool character, very unique. I wanted to know more about him. He got to, antagonize the heroes. He got to coax out, the final form from Baku. Like I think he did his job. I think he was a good inclusion. But yeah, I think overall this episode it just felt crazy. Like everything in this episode was like, wow, you guys had some wild ideas and you executed on it here. Like visually, all of the choreography, all that stuff felt like it was kind of the whole production firing on all cylinders, I think. So I'm pumped to see where they go from here.
Yep. That show is just there's know what they're doing. There's no better way to put it, I guess, or what to say. Just their whatever plan they had has not failed for this is episode 34, right?
Yeah, 34. Yep.
Yeah. Like other shows we've always said like there was a down gap. Like I think Gav was the first one that didn't really feel like it had too many burner off episodes. But like this series or this show, whatever, this time for sure, like all 34 episodes have been one very cohesive story together with no like dumb filler episodes necessarily, or like, no, we're not doing anything today. We kind of lost your way for a little bit here. It's just like a full blown, this is a full drama, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah. Yeah, we haven't had we got to go hunt ghosts with grandma out in the country episode. the one
no
we'll never
ghost
forget.
this time.
Yeah. Totally. Exactly. Well, Toby, let's jump over and let's read some emails. We have an email address that is cast@commonwritersucks.com. Once again, that is cast@commonwritersucks.com if you want to send in an email. And if you do, maybe you might get it read on the show, like our friend Adebayo did this time around. Adebayo writes in to say, hello, Toby and Josh. Hope you guys are doing well today. Hope both of you are having an amazing week. Anyways, as usual, here are my questions. Toby, question number 1. What are your guys' thoughts on the new Star Fox game, new in quotes, that Nintendo kind of, but not really shadow dropped, and how are the bold and brash new looks for Star Fox?
I find it hilarious that a game that hasn't been updated for like 17 years, all of a sudden Star Fox got stealth put into the Mario movie, and then, well, the Star Fox game comes out. And to that point, this is the 5th version of Star Fox 64 that has come out. So it's just a Star Fox game. I don't know if I have expectations for it. The graphics for the game look amazing. The graphics for the main 4 characters are way too humanized animals that I feel like if you're a person who enjoys humanoid animals, this is a game or characters for you.
No judgment if that's something that you might find yourself enjoying.
I think I put that as plainly as possible.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I don't think that I am a humanoid animal enjoyer. Certainly that's not how I would identify, but I do think that the Star Fox characters look pretty cool. I like their vibe. I like how wet the turtle is, or the not the turtle, the frog guy is. I don't know. I think they look weird and
do you
fun.
hear how weird that statement is?
Yeah, I like how wet he is, Toby. I like that he's glistening when he looks at me. You know,
Okay.
he looks like what a frog would look like. Frogs are wet. You know, I don't want to fuck the frog, Toby. I just think he's wet. I like that he's wet.
Right.
You know, I don't want a dry frog. You want a dry frog in your video games? Is that what I'm hearing?
I don't know. I feel like a game or like a thing that's supposed to be very cartoony doesn't need a realistic filter on it. I guess that's the way I actually want to put it. The weird cartoony animal space game has survived 30 some years as fun cartoon animals, now has a weird uncanny valley filter overlaid on top of them.
Yeah.
And that's really throwing me. And like to the Star Fox game itself, I guess if you're making a Star Fox game that's not the weird one where he ran around with the girl fox or whatever the Dinosaur Land one was, Star Fox Crystal something. Her name was Crystal, whatever the hell it was. Like, it's just a fun on rails spaceship shooter game. So I don't know how much different things they could do with it,
Yeah.
but just feels like no one was asking for a Star Fox game. Because even the other day, I'm going to look it up while I'm talking. When Star Fox got announced for the movie, the Navigator and I were talking about it, and they were like, "Is anyone asking for new Star Fox stuff? I feel like this has been dead forever." And I double checked, and like Star Fox games only come out like every 7 years, and most of them like people don't even care about.
Yeah.
So the last actual mainline Star Fox game was 2017, and all of a sudden, like Star Fox, Fox McCloud, the character, whatever, is in like one of the highest like budget grossing movies for like video gamey cartoon shit, and now there's a brand new game all of a sudden too. I feel like that's something that no one was asking for, and now it's here.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's kind of like it's a bit of a blank slate, but also nostalgia play. Like it kind of works out great for them, right? Because they get to, they get to spin off like a movie franchise and have a whole thing where they get to kind of make these characters whatever they want, because people just sort of know who Star Fox is, but they don't have the same depth of character knowledge about them probably as they would for Mario. So it's like you get to sort of do whatever you want in the movie, but then people still have the nostalgia, so they want to check it out. Like I don't know, it was probably very specifically chosen for that reason, I would guess.
I feel like it's
But
just like Nintendo doing Nintendo things, and rather than make a new game, let's just remake Star Fox the fifth time.
they do like doing that, yeah. Can I be vulnerable for a moment, Toby, with you in the audience? I have never played a Star Fox game ever.
We might as well just start with this one because it's the same as the past five.
Yeah, so honestly, that's what I was gonna say. Was like maybe this is a game that's made for me. I have somehow, being a person who is incredibly into video games my entire life, I have avoided the Star Fox franchise in every release from the beginning, which is crazy. So I have no affinity for the Star Fox characters. I have no love for the Star Fox characters. I don't even really like rail shooters that much, which is kind of what this is. But you know what? Maybe this is the time. Maybe I jump in and I give Star Fox a fair shake here and see what it's all about.
I'm gonna say the old ones have weird SNES graphics, which I mean, like SNES, those graphics are fine for most things, but these were like, hey, we're learning about the Super FX chip and we're going hardcore polygons because 3D.
Uh-huh.
So like that feels like a weird barrier to try to battle yourself against in 2026.
Yeah, for sure.
So I would say if you're going to start playing one, and also like don't play like Nintendo 64 one because those controls kind of translate to garbage on emulators. So at this point, if you want to try one, I would just wait until the remake of all of them and with the new fancy snazzy graphics comes out, and you'll be good to go.
Yeah. I did laugh really hard when they announced that the new game will support the N64 Nintendo Switch controller. I was like, that's just catnip for 40-year-olds. Like that's just there's no reason to use that awful controller for any reason other than nostalgia.
Or they have a giant stockpile of Switch N64 controllers, and
Ooh, they may.
they're trying to clear out their warehouse, and this is the best way to do it.
Yeah. I did buy the NES controllers because those were pretty cool. But I didn't buy the N64 one. I didn't buy the Genesis one, and I didn't buy the SNES one. It's like, all right, I'm good. Once you get to a modern enough console, the regular Pro controller's fine for your emulation needs.
Yeah.
Uh, we move on, Toby, in our email from Adebayo, and we move on to question number 2. When it comes to versus debates, do you pick the most logical option, the funniest option that could potentially be used as rage bait, or do you take a neutral stance?
I try to, for the sake of us doing what is on some sort of sliding scale an entertainment show, I will sometimes just take the rage baity things just to try to make some sort of conversation out of it. In normal real life conversations, my brain goes entirely too logical because that's just the way my brain works. Like the whole reason our first show was called Overanalyze is because my brain just goes too hard too fast, and that seemed like a fun word to put to it. So I would say logical when all possible, rage baity as possible with friends when I know I can get some sort of reaction out of it.
And see, for me, I always try to answer them completely honestly. I try to put myself in the situations, the two options. I try to really live in the moment and decide how I would really feel, actually feel. So if I ever come off as I'm rage baiting, that's just how I really am, Toby. So everyone has to deal with that knowledge. um, yeah, but I don't think I really ever like assume a position that I don't agree with just for the sake of the show. I think I mostly am a straight shooter on that front. So it's probably good that you do, so we don't always don't always just agree and move on.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
it's more fun to say like, "What the fuck are they doing to baseball?" To tell you I'm going to like a glow in the dark baseball game, than to be like, "Josh, I'm going to a glow in the dark baseball game. This is fun." And then you go, "Yeah, that is fun. That's like the banana ball." And then we
That's
both
true.
just nod, and then there's no 5-10 minutes of screwing around.
All right, I'm worried you're pulling back the curtain too much, so let's move on. Adebayo says, well, anyways, those are all my questions for this week. And if you excuse me, I got to start training for a Beyblade tournament
Hell
at
yeah!
Anime North. There's going to be 64 people competing, and my goal is to be at least top 5. Anyways, I hope you guys have a good one and stay safe. Adebayo, finding out Adebayo is a Beyblade tournament player, he instantly gained like 10 cool points in my book. He was already very cool, and now he's even cooler, Toby. Respect.
What if it's digital Beyblades and not physical?
I think it's physical. I think he's talking about actual
Right,
physical
right.
Beyblades.
You think it's physical? I agree. What if it's digital Beyblades and not physical Beyblades?
It's still cool. I don't have a problem with that. That's still fine.
I'm just asking.
Yeah, I think it's still fine. It's maybe not as like I think the street cred is less on that for sure, but you know it's still cool. I think going to tournaments is still cool.
Yeah, for sure.
So yeah, good luck in the tournament. Let us know. Let us know how you fare.
If you don't get top 5, we're never reading another email. So just lie next time if you have to and say you got
Oh my
top 5.
god, no! I want real answers. Tell me, give me your lived experience. I don't want to know your lie. I want to know what happened. I want to commiserate with you if you get 64th. You know. Which coincidentally, Toby, is what we're going to be doing when I come back from Combo Breaker in a few weeks.
That's right.
When you find out I'm dead fucking last at a 1,400 participants.
I'm punching down as hard as possible. If you don't like do anything, I'm gonna have to put you in your place. I have to make you feel worse about feeling bad.
That's fair. Yeah. So the tournament's coming up in a couple weeks. So I'll be leaving like next Thursday to head to that. And I don't know. I remember the last time I gave like a Street Fighter update, but I have switched mains. I play Alex now instead of Ryu.
Why would
so
you
I have
a tournament? Why would you pick the Incester as your main right before you go to a public place?
Well, coincidentally, I'm glad you said that because that is actually what my tournament name is when I signed up. I'm the Incester. I'm gonna gonna win the whole bracket. No, that's not true. But no, Alex.
I'm checking those fucking brackets now, man.
Yeah.
You're not gonna be able to finish the story now because you keep giving me more and more.
The brackets. I think the brackets are posting today. Actually, I haven't looked them up yet. But yeah, so I switched over to Alex and have worked him back up to sort of the level I was at with Ryu. Maybe I'm better with Alex at this point. I'm not sure, but yeah, I've got a character that is a little bit different, a little bit fun to play, and probably won't do much, but I'm excited.
I guess I'll do the nice thing. Go, Josh. I hope you do good.
Again, I literally have no expectations to do good. I'm just excited to go and try. Adebayo closes out his email, Toby, with telling us that there's a fun fact. In Canada, we have a chain of restaurants called Boston Pizza, whose founder was a Greek immigrant.
It's going places.
And then he shares a screenshot from their website where it says, Boston Pizza celebrates its 60th anniversary. A Canadian company with an American name founded by a Greek sailor serving Italian food.
That's the best way to be.
That is awesome. Yeah.
There was a taco place that I don't remember the name of. I feel like it was just like Baja Taco or some like generic Mexican taco place name. But they bought an old Chinese, like a takeout Chinese restaurant building, and they just like refit it to make basically like Mexican, like tacos, quesadillas, whatever. And I feel like I don't know how outside of the North America Chinese takeout places look, but if you walk in a Chinese takeout place, The insides are always very similar. And there's like a picture board with the same 10 or 12 meals in every one.
Yep.
That has like, this is what the Dragon Phoenix looks like. This is what the Pad Thai looks like. And it's always that same thing. And more times than not, when you go to a Chinese restaurant like that, you're not really ordering the food. You want a number 4, 7, 10, C21 for like a chef combo, whatever. And the taco place did all of the Chinese food things for ordering. So if you wanted a taco, you ordered like a number 4. Or if you wanted like a taco with like refried beans, that was a C2. And they had the pictures the same exact way, but with like the Mexican food. And it was the greatest weird mashup of two like food cultures and ordering that I've ever seen.
Yeah, that's awesome. Honestly, yeah, that system, just like pointing at a board at a picture and being like, I want that one. Give me number 4. Is so
It's way
efficient.
better. Yeah.
Yeah, every restaurant should work that way for sure. Toby, our next email comes in from Jordan. Jordan has written in to talk about the current episode of Zeztz. Jordan says, so in my opinion, episode 34 was awesome. I absolutely love everything about Extreme, from the suit to the powers. As was discussed last time, the Zeztz driver was Baku's last connection to code, but now it's gone, and from the remains, he made something new, something better, something that's completely his. I think Zero would be pleased by this Extreme. By this, as Extreme could be considered the absolute pinnacle of what the Zeztz system is capable of. Instead of a bunch of smaller capsims with individual powers, it's one big that does everything and more. It was cathartic to see Sieg get that beat down from not being able to control the dream, the thing he uses to dominate the fights before. We also get to see exactly how he got involved with code, him racking up a 1,000-year sentence for assassinating a bunch of criminals in their dreams, including his own father. It seems like he had the power to infiltrate dreams before he underwent dream learning. Look at that.
I told you, someone's going to know better. So that's all I wanted.
I guess that means some people can do it naturally. We also got to see the Punish Nightmare in its true form, switching to our 2 detective friends. Now that the evidence of the nightmares are swirling around social media, it seems the government is finally taking action, and with them considering re-establishing the Paranormal Affairs Division. I said it before that Fujimi would get his job back, and I was right. But what do you two think? Yeah, we didn't talk about the Paranormal Affairs Division getting like kind of reinstated. I thought that was a fun scene. I really liked Fujimi in that scene a lot.
I like Nazca in that scene because, to my joke the entire time, she started as Scully where she didn't believe, and by the end she was going to be the main driving force of like paranormal shit is real. And today was that day.
Yep.
Where she demanded that the X-Files be reopened because that was their dream and belief, and now we're here.
And cute that she like demands that Fujimi's with her, right? Like, let us do it. Let the 2 of us do it. I thought that was cool. And his reaction to that was like, oh, really? Like, you want me to be involved?
Yeah.
That's great. Yeah. So we got another email. We are apparently number 8 on the top 60 tokusatsu podcasts, just to put that out there for you.
I feel like we jump around a lot, but I'm glad to hear that. Anything in the top 10.
We're in good company there the whole time for sure.
If we're not at least top 8, we're not doing a podcast anymore. Much like my top 5 band for Beyblading. If we are just around the cusp of still doing this show.
So if they reevaluate and we drop down to 9, you're like, fuck it, it's done.
Well, done then we, as long as we stay top 9.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna take my other stance of my jokes. I'm gonna say whatever number we are, that's the cutoff.
Yeah, everyone past us is shit. Everyone before us is okay.
Yeah.
That's how it works. Yeah,
absolutely.
It's like when you're speeding in your car. Anyone who's going faster than you is a reckless idiot, and anyone driving slower than you needs to get out of your fucking way. That's how it always works, right? Tell me, our final email this week comes in from Shade. Shade writes in with some details from the case files as usual. First up,
wait, before you read this, I want everyone to know that usually we are only on, there's like a crazy podcast at Feedspot list that always lists us as like a top 10 Toku podcast thing, but the best 60 are on millionpodcast.com.
Yeah, that's the one that we just got. Yeah.
So we are expanding across our horizons. And to that point, I want everyone to know that number 7 G-Force a Kaiju podcast sounds like a pile of shit. And on the opposite side of that, I want everyone to know the Toku USA Su podcast number 9 also sounds like a pile of shit. So you just keep us right in the middle with the good stuff, and you just move us whatever direction you have to.
Yeah, fuck them. Is that what?
Yeah, now you're working with me. Now you're working with me.
I'll just be the tell him Steve Dave for you that you need.
Thanks, man.
Yeah. Anywho, Shade tells us he points out that the gunfight that happens in this episode reminds him of the Resident Evil gunfight scene, which is a great pull. Very true. Shade says all the cheesiness aside, both actors did a great job with the stunts. Then Baku infiltrates Sieg's subconscious, where we learn his backstory. Sieg was sold out by his mobster father, and during his time going through Code's dream learning, he killed his own father in a dream, alongside many, many more people. Fun fact, Sieg's father is played by Don Fale of New Japan Pro Wrestling. Exactly. Also, if you guys pay attention during the scene, you'll recognize someone you've met already. So yeah, that's the bodyguard Tom that I mentioned. Tom Constantine gets fully shot in the face in this episode. Yeah, it's pretty great. He ran in. I'm like, oh hey, look, it's him, and then he gets flipped onto a table and murdered instantly. Shade says, I actually made a post about this on Twitter, and Tom himself answered, quote, I'm still surprised that they let us air that. Yeah, me too. Me too, man. Shade says, and yeah, I'm surprised too, and so are some of the Japanese Kamen Rider fans as well. As relaxed as Japanese TV regulations can be, it's still safe to say that a montage of a man executing people with guns is not what they would usually air, especially during the Sunday morning kids' showtime. I think the only reason they got away with it is because everything happened in a dream and there was no blood or gore. The sequence itself was super cool. Sieg's actor did such a great job here. I never quite believed Sieg to be much of an agent, but this changed my mind. I can totally see him as a badass secret agent now. Yeah,
I thought
they do.
My one note off of that when he was doing his like murder montage was he's been like the most actual James Bond agency full blown nonsensey thing out of all of them.
Yeah.
Like he was absolutely like the most actual agent that we've seen.
Yeah, for sure. Like he's the one who's like infiltrating and just murdering roomfuls of people. Like he is the most secret agent that you can get out of everybody we've seen so far. Shade goes on to say, now that we know Sieg's backstory, I'm beginning to realize that Sieg is basically just reverse Baku. The show is quite obvious with its parallels if you think about it. Both Baku and Sieg were incredibly gifted in lucid dreaming. Both suffered to become Code's weapon that eventually went rogue. Every night they both dream about being in badass secret agent gunfights, but in Baku's, it's about him saving people, and while Sieg, it's about him killing people. They both are able to harness the power of nightmares on their own, but Baku uses it to make his dreams come true, while Sieg uses it to make bad dreams come true, and they both have horrible dads. When you lay it all out,
as all these heroes, it's always bad parenting.
Always comes down to that. When you lay it all out, no wonder Sieg was gunning for Baku at the beginning. Baku's the good version of him, and Sieg was trying to drag Baku down with him. Shade says, we've already seen what Extreme is capable of. Please allow me to explain why this form is so special. What makes Extreme super interesting as a form is that it's not a stronger form at all, at least in terms of raw strength. If you compare Extreme's stats with Catastrom, Baku's previous strongest form, you'll see that Extreme is barely stronger in terms of raw power. In fact, his stats aren't even stronger than Dawn's. What makes Extreme special is his ability. Some of that, which are explained further on the official Kamen Rider Zeztz page on TV Asahi's website. Essentially, Extreme gives Baku the ability to transcend dimensions, allowing him to just freely break the barrier of time and space. He can physically enter the dream world, including a dream within a dream, fully breaking the line between dreams and reality, see the future, and basically weaponize the "it was all a dream" twist to his own advantage. Remember a couple episodes ago when I said that writer Yuya Takahashi often wrote absurdly powerful final forms and then inevitably struggled with writing around that near the end of the show? Well, he made it a ridiculously powerful final form again. Can't wait to see him somehow write up a way to kill a god again, even if it's impossible to kill Baku at this point.
It's probably impossible to kill Baku at this point.
Yeah, I think it might be. Shade goes on to share some Extreme-related trivia. The theme that played during Extreme's fight is "Kickstart" by Back On, one of our faves. Yeah, they're back again with another Final Form theme. And it's not specifically stated anywhere yet, but Kamen Rider Zeztz Extreme is very obviously inspired by Kamen Rider Kuga's final form, Kuga Ultimate. On top of being based on the first Kamen Rider, Zetz's designs were also very inspired by Kuga, especially with the color changing power ups at the beginning and now this. And of course, now that Sieg is gone, 3 begins to execute his evil plan with Code Somnia. But in a lighter note, Nem's actress celebrated her birthday during the filming of this episode.
How fun.
Shade says, now usually this would be part where I share some news and tidbits that happened during the week, but unfortunately the biggest news this week was a very sad one. You guys have probably heard about it. The legendary Kenji Oba, most well known as the actor who portrayed the original Space Sheriff Gavan, and among many other roles in Super Sentai, has recently passed away. The news has hit the tokusatsu community very hard, both within Japan and internationally. Kenji Oba has been an important figure since the early days of Toei's tokusatsu, and his impact and contribution to the craft were second to none. In fact, I don't think it's an understatement to say he represented the heart of the genre itself. Kenji Oba got his start as a stuntman on old toku shows like Kikaider, OG Kamen Rider, and Super Sentai in the early 70s. He was actually one of the suit actors for the very first Red Ranger. After that, he got the chance to join the main cast of the 3rd and 4th Sentai series Battle Fever J and Denzi Man. Then eventually he was chosen to star in Space Sheriff Gavan in 1982, which was his most iconic role yet. After all that, he was still heavily involved in Super Sentai behind the scenes. He made a dozen small cameo appearances in other Super Sentai series, whether as Gavan or just as some guy. He founded a stunt acting training company to help train young actors who can't afford to move to Tokyo. And he was super involved in the last time Toei tried to revive the Space Sheriff series. Like, seriously, if a movie has Space Sheriff in the title, there's a 90% chance he's going to be in it. You see, one of the reasons why he was such a legend is because of how passionate he was about tokusatsu. Back then, toku was never a high art or anything. As well received and high effort as some of them can be, people were still being paid dirt cheap, and tokusatsu was still very much considered unserious kid stuff, kind of like Power Rangers now. And yet, Kenji Oba is out there giving it his all every time. Every week, no matter whether he was in or out of the suit, he would go out there and move like an action movie star. When he made it big, like seriously big, he was in Kill Bill as Hattori Hanzo's assistant. He'd still be more than happy to return as Gavan in a dozen movies. I know at this point I'm just gushing about how cool Kenji Oba is, but he really was that cool. He loved tokusatsu more than anybody, and man, does it show whenever he is on screen. Shane shares a scene from Gokaiger vs. Gavan, which came out in 2013, where all 3 of his characters met and transformed together. So there's a cool shot of 3 of him kind of like digitally transposed next to each other. And then, of course, they all henshin together side by side.
As they should.
Funnily enough, even though I've only recently finished the original Space Sheriff Gavan, I've technically grown up watching him as Gavan purely because of how long he has been doing tokusatsu. All in all, I hope that newer Toku fans could learn more about Kenji Oba's legacy through this, especially with the new Gavan Infinity show still airing. He was an incredible actor, artist. He's no doubt one of the most iconic tokusatsu heroes to have ever lived, and he deserves to be remembered as such. And if you're wondering, yes, he did know about Gavan Infinity before he passed away, and he was very happy to see a new Gavan. Yeah, so rest in peace, Kenji Oba. I did hear about that news this week, and yeah, very sad to lose a giant of the industry, for sure. And Toby, that is going to wrap up our emails. Thanks again to Adebayo, Jordan, and Shade for the emails this week. Once again, cast@KamenRiderSucks.com is that email address if you want to send in an email like they did this time. And of course, Toby, we do have a Patreon. You can find that over at patreon.com/thecommentwriters. The Patreon's super fun. We put up usually a couple pieces of bonus content every single week on the Patreon. And usually it's in the form of us watching tokusatsu that we don't talk about here on the show. So watching Sentai, watching old Rider shows, or maybe, even crazier stuff than that. Who knows? We've watched through all of X8, all of Boon Boomjer. We're about to finish up Dawn Brothers. We're watching Gavan right now, the new Gavan Infinity. So lots of fun stuff over there on the Patreon. We actually are getting ready to start a new show. So now's the perfect time to join up. We'll be starting a new show here pretty soon, as soon as we finish up Dawn Brothers. So again, patreon.com/the comment writers. $3 a month gets you access to the Patreon. But you can follow for free, and you get to watch the first 3 episodes of everything we do for free. So lots of stuff to watch, even for free on the Patreon. So do go give it a follow, even if you're not ready to drop the dough quite yet. But if you do pay, you get access to the Discord as well, which is where people had the opportunity to vote for our next series, and we will be doing that choosing and that revealing quite soon, Toby. So,
And this week, I remember I'm not as sick as I was last time you prompted me on this. I do remember what our plan is to pick the new show with all the votes, and it's going to be a hell of a thing.
It is. I'm excited.
That's all I can really say. For now, that's all I can really say.
Yeah, so we've solicited all the nominations from our Discord, and the actual picking I think will be super fun. So keep an eye out for that in the next couple weeks here. All right. Well, Toby, why don't you tell the people where they can find you?
On Twitter, it's Life of Tobes. On YouTube, it's Tobes Plays. And if you're going to go get tacos and order by number, which I think they got rid of now, it is Fresh Tortillas in Alpha, New Jersey.
For me, you can find me on Blue Sky. I'm at meek.lol. You can find the show on Blue Sky as well at commonridersucks.com. And maybe you could find me in person at Combo Breaker if you're going. So if you are, reach out and we can say hi. So that is going to wrap us up for this week for the main podcast. Do check out the Patreon. We've got lots of stuff going on over there. And, we hope you join us back to talk about exactly what happens with Code Somnia as we move into this next arc of the show. But in the meantime, have a great week, everybody. Peace.